Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, She RNB, and yo, I'm kicking it with the crew right here. I just jumped off the porch. Yeah, with Dirty Glove Bastard, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
I put some thoughts on this. Got to put some thoughts on the thoughts on this. Right?
All right, we got She RNB jumping off the porch with us today.
Damn.
How you feeling today, Sue?
I'm feeling good. You know, I'm ready for this.
Ready for it?
I've been ready for this.
Built for it tough.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a pleasure to have you on the porch with us today.
Thank you.
So, how has it been since you moved here to Georgia?
Man, it's been like an adventure, you know what I mean? Like, at first I came here, you know, Cali girl, and everybody's like, why you talk like a white girl? And I'm like, well, you know, they basically raise us like androids out there, you know? Technology central. So, you know, it felt cool to kind of see the differences in culture and everything, but I've grown a lot out here. I love it out here, and I'm growing roots, you know, so I love Georgia.
That's real.
Yeah.
So how's the city treated you since you've been here?
Oh man, it's been good. Like, just, I mean, I think it's the universe. The stars must be aligned or something, because I swear, I've been getting nothing but nonstop shows. You know, now I'm so busy, I gotta turn people down, and you know, it's like, that's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
That's real. So what was it like coming up in California, and what part are you from?
I grew up in the Bay Area, yeah. So E40, Too Short, you know, that's our stomping grounds. And, you know, I started out in San Jose, that's where I was born. And pretty much it was like an orchard, like living out there. So fruit trees used to grow on the sidewalk. So we was never hungry as kids, you know. You know, but things started getting boring, and people started rapping and singing. And, you know, I was that girl walking out with the boombox back. You know, I just revealed my age, but walking out with the boombox, you know, playing music and my stuff. And, you know, from there, like, it was just, music became a part of me. And that's just really what you find in the Bay Area too, is, you know, a lot of people come together and they are at festivals and different things, and we just rock out.
That's real.
Yeah.
When would you say you realize the streets of the Bay can get rough?
Oakland. Oakland, California. When I lived on 96th and Bancroft, what they call Greenside, things got a little dangerous, you know what I mean? When you see a group of girls walking down the street with bats and just Metabo cocktail bombs, and man, I'm telling you, it gets crazy. But that was when I realized, okay, you know, girl growing up in the suburbs, I came over to the wrong side of the tracks. But yeah, you know, it wasn't, you know, rare to see somebody sitting out on the porch with an AK-47. And, you know, after a while, I was like, I can't live here no more. But I love the Bay. I never stopped loving the Bay, but, you know, just a little too dangerous up in Oakland.
So when would you say you jumped off the porch?
Shoot, man. I'd have to say it had to have been like right around 2011, 2012. That's when I really said, you know, I want to really push myself. I want to be an artist. And I went ahead and I won a big settlement at that time. So I took some of that money and I invested in myself, you know, and from there it was like, okay, meeting all these different people who can kind of help me put together a product of my music, and just learning the craft along the way. But I say for me, that was like when I jumped off the porch. It was the beginning at that point. Yeah.
So how hard was it for you to make R&B music, and you know your family came from a gospel background?
Whew, man, that was a rough transition. I mean, you know, I got a lot of feedback, you know, of course, from my family, because I grew up predominantly gospel. My mom was a gospel singer, and my whole family had this album called Sacred Soul Singers. So they were known across the Bay Area and all through the West Coast. And so it was kind of like, hey, you living the wrong way. You doing this secular music, you know. But I say gospel's in me, you know. I feel like God is wherever you are, as long as you believe and you have that in your heart. No matter what you're doing, God's gonna always, you know, put you in the right places, give you the hints, and, you know, guide you through this life, you know, as long as you tune and you're listening, you know what I mean?
That's real.
Yeah.
How hard and how challenging would you say it was to walk in the faith of your dreams?
I think that was the easy part. That was the easy part because, you know, I just think back to like when I was sitting in the garage and I had my little karaoke machine and I was like dubbing tapes, you know, so I would record one vocal and then switch it over and record the next vocal. And I just look back at that beginning all the way to where I am at now, and I'm like, it's to me, it's easy. It just flows naturally. It feels right.
What is it that you want people to take from your music?
Positivity, you know, that uplifting vibe. You know, we have a lot of negativity in the world right now, especially, and I just feel like you got to have that positive energy. There has to be a balance, the yin, the yang, you know, and that's what I want to bring to the world is, you know, what you see in your mind's eye is something that you can actually go for and you can make it happen. And that's all about the power of manifestation and the law of attraction.
What would you say is your biggest life lesson that you learned so far?
Woo! Can't trust everybody. Can't trust everybody. Like as much as I want to, and you know, my heart is that way just naturally. I've had some hard lessons in trust, and you know, I think that's anybody as you go through the journey and you're just learning and navigating life. Like, you know, there's those people that you know you could reach out to and they got your back like 100%. But then those people, you know, who teeter and tottering on the line and, you know, quick to turn and talk about you and put you down, those are the ones you stray away from because that's going to be the first one that's going to drag you down. So, you know, trust them, trust in myself.
When would you say you started having your first peaks of success?
Man, whew. I want to say it was the night I was with King Tyfly. We were at the Cosmopolitan here, and that night I was about to perform a song called Elevate Your Mind. And I think I just felt the energy from the crowd at that moment, and then I got this from one of the DJs, you know, and then after that, I noticed every club I walk into, I got this from the DJs, and I said, okay, that's a sign. That means I must be making some type of impact. So that was when I felt like I had my opening.
What did you feel that gesture symbolizes?
Respect, you know, that's what it felt like was they, you know, saw what I was doing. And you know, I'm one of those people, I'm constantly driving myself. You know, I'm hard on myself, but I'm always driving, you know, because I figure, you know, the only way I'm going to lose is if I stop, you know. So keep going and, you know, people are going to eventually see it, you know what I mean? You keep pounding at that concrete, eventually it's going to break.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say inspires you musically?
Man, I love Mary J. Blige. Like, a lot of my sound comes from her. And I love Erykah Badu and Alicia Keys. Erykah Badu, I like her more for just her spirituality and how she speaks to the truth. And really, Alicia Keys, I love her artistry, her, you know, performance, like just her grind from, you know, being a young star to where she is now. And she's one of those people who I feel like is kind of like in my, like, you know, how my aura is very positive and uplifting, and that's how I view her. But those three are the ones I could say like really inspire me.
So what did you channel walking into making your debut album, Rain on My Shine?
Man, you know, Rain on My Shine was all about self-love, like, and you know, at that time it was really a moment of coming out of my 20s, just like knowing who I am for once and kind of seeing a clear path ahead of what I wanted. And I figured, okay, let me write my journey. Let me start writing about what I'm actually experiencing, when it's love, whether it's spirituality, whether it's the hate that I've experienced, you know, because somebody out there might be going through the same thing. They might be able to learn from it. And so my saying was, you know, you never let another person rain on your shine, you know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be the days where it's dark and it's like thunder clouds everywhere, but you know, after the clouds come and pour, what comes right out? The sun, and you shine in again.
That's real.
Yeah.
How was the project received?
Man, you know, I've like still hit myself, you know, sometimes, because I'm just like, okay, I had a child at that age, and it was right when I was about to launch my college tour. So promotion wise, I just didn't push it, you know. Even though I felt like it was a really good project, the production wasn't so good, you know, but I wish I had done more with it, you know, because I kind of told myself, okay, I'm pregnant, I can't get out there pregnant. But now I've seen like so many other singers do it, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could have kept going, you know. But, you know, I'm not mad at it. You know, I gave myself a break to raise my children, and I think I did the right thing, you know.
How hard was it for you to decide to take that break?
Oh, it was real hard because I'd spent a lot of money at that point, and you know, I was like at a place mentally where I was like, man, I'm ready to go. But then, you know, I'm looking at this little baby, and I'm like, okay, I got to give you a chance to experience some things, you know, have a real childhood. And you know, I think it was just, you know, realizing like at that point in my life, I had a youngster. I had to like start showing them the way. So sometimes you got to take a back seat, you know.
So how did you regain that faith in your career?
Oh man, you know, once I got here to Atlanta, I said, you know, this guy at my job, he kept coming up to me, he was like, when you gonna go back out and sing? Well, you need to go and sing. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not ready. I'm not want to do it. Then, but you know, then, you know, my son, he was like, nah, he was like, you need to go ahead and just do it, you know. And so I went ahead. I, you know, decided that I wanted to jump back out there, and I wanted to give it my all. So that's what I'm doing.
So talk about the last album you just put out, Love Conscious.
Love Conscious, man, that's where everything comes together, because I call that the Love Conscious because it's a full circle. Like if you look at life like we understand and we see each other consciously, right? And basically it's like a mirror. Sometimes we reflect off of each other, you know what I mean? And the reflections could either be jealousy, it could be hate, it could be love. But if we choose to do it in love, if we choose to all be love conscious, then we can have a more positive reality. And you see that even in concerts and shows, when the person's hype and pumping that energy out there, then everybody's gonna be energized, you know what I mean? And if I'm pushing love to everybody, then guess what comes back? It's gonna be the love. And that's how it is, it's love conscious.
That's real.
Yeah.
So how did it make you feel to know that your records from the album got scored in the indie film?
Man, like that was a highlight for me. Like, I really felt accomplished at that point. And just to hear and see my music in a movie, like the dopest feeling in the world, you know, and now it's circulating, you know, across the world to other eyes and for other ears to hear. So like, I feel like, you know, I'm at a good point in my journey, you know, like now I'm really spreading that love like that I intended to. So good feeling.
That's real.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing you would say you want to accomplish out of your career?
Man, inspiring other people to keep going, just to, you know, keep perfecting your craft, keep networking, and, you know, continue to give each other love, you know, because, you know, just like, you know, me and Ty, we got this song coming out called Thank You, you know, and it's a gospel song. So, you know, by me working with him and vice versa, him working with me, like we're sharing something else to the world that somebody might need in their dark moments, you know. Me and Subpoena, we got a song coming out called We Blend. We getting everybody ready for the summer, you know, so we want y'all to dance, you know, and feel it. And then, you know, even Fire here, you know what I'm saying? Like, air it out radio. Like, I'm just saying, like, everything, like I said, is full circle, love conscious. And, you know, I wouldn't be here, you know, in this place if it wasn't for the people, you know, who've been supporting me the whole way, you know?
That's real.
Yeah.
How important is it for you to know to never give up?
Man, very important, very important. You know, sometimes, you know, like I said, I put myself down and I'm like, okay, maybe this is where I need to jump off the ship and give up, you know? but then I see how much it inspires other people, and I realize the bigger importance of it in that bigger picture. And, you know, that's what keeps me going. That's what makes me stay the straight and narrow and just want to keep doing it.
What would you say are your key qualities of life?
My key qualities, man, Just, being fun loving, being myself, and just, spreading that good, positive energy to everybody. And I want everybody to always, like Tupac said, keep your head up. I believe in that song, like, full-heartedly. Like, you got to keep your head up through the ups and downs. And I want people to feel that, and anytime they're in my presence, you know what I mean?
What's some words you would give somebody that's watching this interview who's down in discouragement?
Keep going, and just know that a moment can pass in a second like that. And it doesn't mean that that next moment is going to be exactly the same, because, life, it has the ups and downs, but like I said, there's always an upside. And so when you're feeling dark and you're feeling like there's nowhere else to go, just know that maybe 5 minutes later, something could happen for you, just like I'm right here, jumping off the porch.
That's real. You're down in your moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people feel like they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go. What's 3 things you would give them in advice-wise to make them feel that they can change their situation in that second?
Stay moving. Like, even in your moments like electricity, we're electrical beings. And, the moment that you're sitting there stagnant, that's when depression sets in. Like, you notice depressing, and when you're in that depressive mode, people most of the time, what do? They're sleeping, right? They're in a dark room, they're hidden. But the moment that you're moving and you're getting energized by other people, that's what's going to pull you out of the down, and every person that you touch, like Michael Jackson, that man ain't even alive anymore, but his music still electrifies people. It still touches people. And that's how life is. It's not always a down. You can bring yourself up, but you got to keep moving. Electricity, you're an electrical being, so keep going.
How did you hear that term, electrical being?
I'm a nerd. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm an engineer by trade, and I work a lot with like gamma rays, and I analyze that stuff all day at work. But aside from that, like everything has a frequency, even down to plants, even down to light. Everything has a frequency, and when you vibe with it, when you vibe with it and you start researching more into just life in general, even from the time a seed grows up out of the ground and how the sun helps it to grow because it's attracted to the warmth, like everything has a purpose, so I'm deep like that. I read a lot. I'm a nerd.
I like that. That's some game right there. So besides music, what else are you working on?
Oh man, I just bought some land, so I want to get into real estate. I want to like start building like tiny houses, because I feel like the wave of the future is gonna get smaller. Like, I don't know, I just feel like everything's gonna get smaller, like from cell phones to the way we communicate now. I don't feel like it's gonna be this device like we have now, because even if you look back like in the 90s, right, they had them like super big Motorola like hand phones, and then now everything's compact and small, and they even got glasses now that you can like talk and see things through. So I just feel like that's gonna be like a big wave, like tiny homes and container homes, like but yeah, that's my next thing that I'm gonna get into.
Why do you feel it's important as a Black woman to be business savvy?
Man, like, we have to really get out there and give ourselves a chance. And, we just like the rest of the other communities, whether you're Asian, you're Caucasian, it don't matter. Like, everybody has a purpose. And even, it don't matter your race, but our race, we have to realize that it's not just hanging on street corners. It's really getting out there and making a difference and an impact in the world, because you never know what you can build or create, because you are a creator. You never know what you can build and create that can help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Just like I was talking about the ups and downs, you never know, something you put out there might be able to bring somebody up. You know what I mean? Just like Air It Out Radio, you've been in business for how long? 16 years, and look where I'm at, right here off the porch. Just saying. It's proof is in the pudding.
What else are you working on for 2023?
Man, I'm going to New York. So that's a whole another thing. I want to expand. I've been here in Atlanta now for a while, rocking it out. And while I love it, I feel like I want to move in other places, So, I definitely am excited about touring Upper East Coast. And then, hopefully eventually it'll be global, I'm ready to even take that journey, but it's a stepping stone, and I'm just like, I'm gonna keep going forward motion with the music and opening up more doors,
Real spill.
Yeah.
Any last words and shout outs?
Yo, I just want to shout out everybody who's ever supported me. If you've listened to my music, if you've downloaded anything, if you shared it, whatever the case may be, I love you. Stay inspired. You see all the people behind me, you know what I'm saying? They all got projects. They all doing something. You got Kiki over here in the corner. But everybody is doing something. So stay positive, stay motivated, and remember, you can manifest anything that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to OG the Mindbender. You know what I mean? He's been with me he's done so many of my music videos, no lie. Shout out to Hip Hop Fraternity, Player Poncho. He's the one who started out recording my music when I first got here. So you helped me open some doors, and I appreciate the love. And just everybody I've met along the journey, who I've tapped in with. I appreciate the love, and I'm just giving that love back. Right here off the porch.
She RNB, we appreciate having you on the porch with us today.
I
Thank you, Manny.
put some thoughts on this. Got to put some thoughts on the board.